This game combines tower defense with card games on a hexagonal grid. You're playing as a robot trying to survive waves of digital nasties. That means viruses, malware, all that cyber stuff, by playing cards that blast them in different patterns. What makes it interesting is how the hex grid works with your card effects, letting you position your attacks to hit multiple enemies, or catch them in chain reactions. This video is sponsored by Soy Games, and as always there are absolutely no restrictions for me for presenting this game. You begin each round with a hand of cards, and each card costs stamina to play. The enemies move toward you every turn, so you need to clear them out before they reach your position. Your cards have different blast patterns. Some hit in straight lines, others in circles or other shapes. The trick is figuring out where to place these attacks on the hex grid to hit as many enemies as possible. The roguelike part comes in between waves. You can pick new cards for your deck, upgrade existing ones, or remove cards you don't want anymore. There are also chips you can collect that give you passive bonuses, like dealing extra damage to enemies at the edge of the board, or getting energy back when you kill multiple enemies. The game starts pretty easy but ramps up in difficulty pretty quickly. Early enemies have low health and you can blast through them without much trouble, but soon you're facing tougher enemies with way more health. And you need to start thinking about combos. Some cards work together, like one that makes enemies weakened and then another that deals double damage to weakened targets. The game's stamina system keeps things tactical because you can't just spam your best cards. You have to use your stamina efficiently each turn. Some cards cost more but do way more damage, while others are cheap but weaker, and managing this becomes essential when facing big groups of enemies. There are different types of builds you can go for. For example, you can focus on area damage to hit lots of enemies at once, but you could also build around shields and defense, or try to stack strength buffs for massive single target damage. The game has over 200 cards and relics, so there should be tons of different strategies to discover. A rather neat mechanic is that some cards get bonuses based on how many enemies they hit. So there's this card that does normal damage to one enemy, but double damage if it hits 3 or more. This makes positioning really important, because you want to line up your shots to catch as many enemies as possible in the right formations. The enemies are not just static either. They adapt and get stronger as you progress, and they can somewhat mutate into deadlier forms. What's cool about the hex grid system is that it's not just about where you place your attacks, but also about predicting where enemies will move, since they all move toward you each turn. You can sometimes set up shots to hit them where they're going to be, not where they are right now. The game has 4 different playable robots, each with their own unique cards and abilities. With the game's roguelike structure, no 2 runs will play the same, since you are constantly modifying your deck and finding new combinations. The game is pretty chill to play despite being about survival and combat. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.